You don't got to tell me all your spots. You don't got to tell me your secret spots. But if there's widely known public places that a brand new angler just don't know about, why not tell them? What up? What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. The goal of today's video is to give y'all some tips on fishing in Southern California. Well, trout fishing in Southern California. To be more specific, stock trout fishing. For whatever reason, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that got beef with stocked fish. I don't know what's the problem. So there's been a lot of people that hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, and then randomly people that I just know are interested in learning how to fish. And I think trout fishing, stock trout fishing. Let me specify. Basically, fishing in Southern California, in the SoCal area, in the Los Angeles area. There's a lot of city park lakes around here, and then there's some bigger bodies of water where they're stocked with farm-raised fish. I love them. I like to catch them. I like to keep them. I like to catch and release them. I just enjoy fishing for them. And I take it as a perfect opportunity to teach somebody new how to fish, because typically you are able to go to a place that you know that there will be some type of fish in there that you can target. The easiest thing for you to do is to do a Carolina rig. I do not like baiting and waiting. I get bored. And yeah, I get bored. I don't like sitting in one spot for too long waiting for the fish to bite. Even if I'm probably wasting more time and I'm not catching as many fish as a person who's sitting there waiting for them to happen, I just get a greater satisfaction of using a jig, whether it's a little, whether it's one of these type of jigs or one of the jigs I make at home, casting and retrieving until I hook up. I get more satisfaction out of catching them that way. But baiting and waiting is a very effective way to catch them. The main rig that I recommend for anybody who's wanting to do the whole bait and wait thing, I recommend using a Carolina rig. And here is a Carolina rig. The thing is, you can use a Carolina rig for multiple types of fishing, whether you're fishing for catfish, striped bass, trout, halibut, whatever. You can use a Carolina rig. And basically what a Carolina rig is, it is a sliding sinker right there. And you have a sliding sinker, a bead to a barrel swivel, and then you make a leader, however long you want your leader to be, 6 inches, 12 inches, 2 feet, however you want to do it. And then you want to go to a small hook when you're fishing for these trout. I don't know if you can see this hook, but this is a very small hook. And you don't need super expensive gear. Not saying you have to shop at this location, but I literally got this fishing rod from Walmart for $10. I've jigged with it, and I've been baiting and waiting with it, and it works just fine. Now, it's not going to be the Cadillac of fishing rods. The ride's a little rough. The drag ain't all that smooth, but it gets the job done. And it's only $10. That's not even, you could barely get a Happy Meal with $10. So it's just $10. And I've caught so many fish on this thing. I've had it for a couple of years, and people always got something. I get the randomest comments about saying, why not use this $10 rod and reel, especially when you are just starting. You don't even know if you're going to like fishing. So why spend an arm and a leg? I prefer 2-pound tests, but I don't go over 6-pound tests. I try to stick between 2 and 4, mainly 2-pound tests. But if you're a beginner fisherman or a beginner fisherwoman, a new angler, probably going with the heavier line will be better for you, because it gives you more leeway to fight that fish, and you won't pop your line so easily. Okay? That's that. Basically what that means is that the fish is fighting and it's pulling a drag out like this, you want to let it run, and once it starts coming back to you, you want to crank down and pick up the line. Okay? Okay. So you can get whatever size sinker you want, but this is a 1/4 ounce egg weight. That's what I like to use to I don't know what size bead this is, but just a bead, a barrel swivel. I feel like the most important thing is the leader material. So with the leader line, I don't go above 4 pound tests. So I'll do 2 or 4 pound tests, possibly 4. And then the hook, so I would go with a size 10 or a size 8 mosquito hooks. A size 8 is a little bit bigger than this 10, but notice how thin these hooks are. The hook is very thin. I don't really like treble hooks, but you can use treble hooks if you want to. But you want to use a thin hook like this because when whatever bait you decide to use, when you apply it to the hook, your bait will float. So basically you cast your line out and you have your Carolina rig. You're going to cast it out and then the weight will sink to the bottom. But your bait will hover up, depending on if you have a 6-inch, a 12-inch, 2 feet or whatever, is going to hover in the strike zone. So you want to play with the length of your leader is going to determine how high it hovers in the strike zone. If you notice that the trout are basically hugging on the bottom, whether they're avoiding birds diving trying to get them or whatever the reason for them being low on the bottom, you would adjust. So you can have one rod set up with like a 6-inch leader. So your weight will be here, and then your bait will be hovering kind of right here. And then somebody else, if you're fishing with somebody else, they have a 12-inch leader, and then their bait will be hovering up here. So you want to play with the length of your leader material. I'm not saying that you got to buy owner hook. This is just the pack that I get because it's at Walmart. It is easy to get, except now they're locking all the stuff up. Anyway, now also I use this, a mice tail, and basically what this is just it is plastic. This is designed to float, so I will go with a mouse tail. All the colors seem to work at any given time. If you're baiting and waiting, or if you're jigging, variety is better. You don't want to just go and get this one pack. Try a few different other packs. You have different color combinations, whether it's pink and white, or white and pink, or white and yellow, orange and white. There's a whole variety of them. And then this right here, Titus and Brian put me on these right here. These are this right here. These are pinch worms, 1/2-inch pinch worms, and then you have some mice tails. These are the easiest things to use because you just take your hook once you got your Carolina rig and you just hook it through the plastic and just cast that sucker out. Your bait's not gonna fly off randomly. It's not gonna just dissolve since it's been sitting there for more than 5 or 15 minutes. It's just gonna be there until you get a bite. Or you just decide to reel it in because you had no patience. You want to reel it in. If you don't want to bait and wait, you can use something like this, a jig. Some type of jig, whether it's your own jig, hair jigs, or whatever. Like there's a whole variety of things you can use. You got these type of jigs, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Now, what's most important, the most important thing that I want to get into is where you can fish. So if you're in the Los Angeles area or the Southern California area, for the lakes that I go to, they're all at least like an hour away. So if you want to go to if you've seen any of my videos and they're like the Lake Silver Woods and Lake Pyramid, Castaic Lake, any of these lakes, you want to make sure you're ready to drive at least an hour in time. I feel like the better spots are a little bit further. Whenever I meet any of you guys for the first time and you're like, oh, where you come from? Oh, LA? They're like, damn, you drove all the way out here? Well, yeah, I like getting out the city every now and again. And on top of that, even though there's places to fish at the city park lakes, it's just not the same. And they don't stock the same fish. So if you made it this far to the video, I appreciate you. Now I'm going to tell you some places where you can fish that I think you can have success. So what you want to do is you want to go on the Google machine. As my brother say, go on the Google machine and look up DFG, Department Fishing and Game. And what you're going to do is you just kind of scan through. It'll give you a list of lakes, and then also next to the lake, it'll tell you what county it's in, and it'll give you a date range of when they expect to be stocking the fish. It's every other month. And then you have other places, Alondra Park, Magic Johnson Park, Echo Park, Leg Lake, Downey Wilderness Park. These are relatively close to LA, within 30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on what part of LA that you're in. Each county will have a different fish planning schedule. You should have a fishing license. You do need a fishing license. Fishing license is required wherever you fish, unless you're fishing at a private lake like Santa Ana River Lakes. That's a whole nother story. But when you go to a different county, like you have San Bernardino County, they have lakes like Cucamonga, Glen Helen, Yucaipa, and Fisherman's Retreat. I think Fisherman's Retreat is different, but the things you should know is they all stock from the same hatchery. They all stock Jess's Ranch. Now, for those that be out there fishing, that's just chasing these trout trucks, people don't like Jess's Ranch. The premium fishing, as far as stock fish goes, is Mount Lassen. So, say when you look at a video of Santa Ana River Lakes, Mount Lassen trout. Lake Hesperia, Mount Lassen trout. Lately, quiet as kept, Lake Silverwood, Lake Pyramid, and Castaic Lake have also been putting in Mount Lassen trout. But the difference is their fish aren't as big, but those bodies of water are huge, so it's harder to track the trout down, pin them down, and really get on them. But those lakes also have striper, catfish, largemouth, smallmouth, and a lot of other fish to go for. My goal is just to give you a little bit of something, a little bit more encouragement, a little more specific direction as to where you can go and get started real simple. These lakes are open to everybody. I don't own them. Nobody owns those lakes. So I don't feel like it's a violation to tell people that, hey, these lakes exist and you can go fish there. They stock trout. So go get them.
Oh, Ferris, I got one.
That's a big one. You got a net?
Yeah. Come on, backpack.
That's it?
Right.
That's a good one. Yeah, I got you.
That's a big one.
He's good.
He talks there.
Oh, yeah. Now you're in the shade.
Yeah. That's what I was like. Let's go over to the shade. Damn. Had to.
Good one.
Yeah. It stands a little bit. I think I might go up over these. When you least expect it, Ferris, all you gotta keep casting.
Color you got?
Black. So like right here in front of these ducks.
Got that?
Yeah. What do you use? What brand?
I
Smoke?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Exact same.
That's one.
You know what kind of fish they talking here?
During the summer, catfish.
No, I mean like what hatchery?
Oh, Mount Lassen.
Nice. I know they,
Mount Lassen.
I didn't know they talked about this.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Oh yeah, yeah. This thing is huge.
Oh, baby.
Is this thing recording?
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
Follow.
Shit. Fatty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you.